Dad's like, he must have something up his sleeve. He needs next weekend.
You're live.
Hi, guys. We're making sure to plug in so we don't lose juice. Fabulous. This, that, the other thing, sitting down. Don't spill. Why do you keep scooting up? Why is that? I mean, you kind of look like my size when you sit that far ahead, though. So.
I mean, honestly, to get even with you, I got to be way up here. Like, look at.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Just look at.
Just look at. All right. Let's see what's
Hey, Kim.
on.
Hey, Connor. Hey, Cole. Hey, Super Dirty. Andrew, Rick, Bob. What we got going today?
I don't know what's going on this morning in the shop.
Oh, there it goes. We're just doing great today with the sounds.
Happy Hump Day. It's Wednesday. You know what's crazy is I was thinking this morning how I feel like even though we're quarantined, for me, the days are going fast.
Mm.
What about you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they fly by. The slow part is when I'm not at work.
Oh, so when you're with me, you're valuing your time with me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Sure. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's think.
Andrew says it's going very fast.
Michael wants to know, Mike, are you going to run the 76er? But I'm pretty sure there's always a dirt race.
If there was no conflict, I would be there. No questions about it. But there seems to be a lot of conflicts past few years.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm having a messy hair day today. Finally showered, so I thought I'd look presentable for you guys.
Michael McCarty says, I hope to see you both at OCFS May 16th. I hope to be at Orange County on May 16th as well. I would love to be racing.
Where? Hang on. I think was it? Oh, no, it's not today. We're supposed to be running Albany Friday and Middletown Saturday, just in case you're wondering for our calendar.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So what have you done in the shop?
Let's pretend.
Morning? Let's pretend.
Well, it snowed this morning, so
yep.
I wore my winter hat. It's cold.
Yep.
I can't really get into too many details on what I'm doing in the shop because it's more like
hush hush.
We're getting into like the setup stuff, which I love to explain to you guys all, like the assembly and like how we put things together and build cars and whatnot. But I don't really have any interest in telling everyone how I set the car up, particularly because it took me years to learn that, and cost me a lot of money to learn it, and it's still like other people do it better than I do. I'm not like I'm not the best at it, but I feel like you got to put in your time to learn it as well. Like if you're starting out, you can't just. It's not something you just get handed.
Yep. Do you tie your shoes in double knots?
Double knots?
Yeah.
I always used to. When I played sports like soccer and basketball, I always double knotted my shoes because I didn't want to trip over them. But I tie my shoes like inside, and I never untie.
I was gonna say you don't even tie your shoes.
I tie them when I first get them, just loose enough where I can get my foot in there, on and off, and I don't ever tie them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't untie them, take them off. I'm just looking at you for all the questions instead of reading them. Sorry.
Yeah, you're sitting that close. I thought that was the whole idea.
I didn't put my contacts in. I can't read.
You raced last night. Would you like to tell us more about it?
Oh, we raced World of Outlaws on Dirt Vision. So that was pretty fun. We had Williams Grove, which I decided in real life, the gate on the back stretch at Williams Grove, the second part of the gate sticks out more than the first part, or less. So if you like hit the first part of the gate, you would bounce off and miss the second part. On the sim, the second part sticks out. So if you hit the wall or you get pushed into the wall, you hit head on into the second part of the gate, which I luckily did not do last night. But it's very challenging to miss that.
I know you're going to talk about race, but what about your race shoes? Do you double knot them?
I don't tie the race shoes either. They're Velcro.
Yeah. Well, there are ties.
There are ones that tie, but I don't buy those because I don't want to tie them. I slip them on. Like, race shoes are supposed to be like slippers. You slide them on. They're like paper thin, so you can feel the pedals, and just enough material there so if you catch on fire that it resists that.
No, continue about your iRacing. Sorry.
The iRacing, yeah. So let's see. I had a really good battle with William Byron in the heat race for 4th. So we didn't make the A main. I never thought I'd be racing with William Byron.
Yeah.
You know, because he races NASCAR, but he's good with a sprint car.
Yeah.
Yeah, missed the A main. I think I ran the C main, got wrecked.
And then
It wasn't anybody else's fault. It was probably entirely my fault. The track goes from really slippery, and then they'll reset it to 0, and it'll be so tacky that everybody just holds it wide open. And on the sim, I mean, nobody's afraid of, getting hurt or wrecking their equipment. So, I mean, you run nose to tail, wide open, never lift.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody lifts, they're getting run over. And the guy in front of me lifted, and I had no time to react, and I ran right in the back of him. So.
And then after that? Didn't you race with the ESS?
I raced with the ESS after that. That we're practicing in that group for Sunday. We're going to be racing with the ESS Sunday at 3, I believe, ish. So keep tabs on the Empire Super Sprints Facebook page for that, the details on that. And the practice race went well, went forward in the feature. I don't time that well. It's always really so we're doing Knoxville, and it's really tacky, and the timing, you just hold it wide open around the bottom. I really can't figure out how to make like another 10th out of that. I don't understand. Like, if you're just wide open around the bottom and you don't get sideways or make a mistake, really, where's that extra 10th? Got to figure it out.
So Mike asks, do full-time drivers like you sign contracts with your owners, and does that limit where and when you can drive?
Contracts with your owners limit where and when you can drive. Okay. I don't think I've ever signed a written contract with an owner, but where I come from, we just talk about it and handshake deal. So I mean, we could have written something down, but we both know the terms, and it does come into play. If the car owner wants to race a particular race, then we go there because it's his equipment. He put all the money up for to make this happen. So kind of
depends on the owner, really.
Yeah, it depends on the owner. But some are more particular on where you race and where you don't race than others. But I generally like to race anywhere. So if they want to go racing, then I go racing.
You'll race anything, anywhere, whenever you can.
Yep.
So I think it was yesterday we talked about motors, but Super Dirty 63 asked, do most motors just get refreshed every year? And do you only start new when there's catastrophic damage?
So sometimes you can fog an engine for the off season and keep running it. I usually just keep track of the laps, and they get rebuilt somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 laps. Generally average about 1,500 laps per rebuild. If everything's taken care of and if you don't have any catastrophic failures. If you have a catastrophic failure, sometimes it is cheaper to buy some new parts than to try to save what you have there. But usually you can salvage some piece off of the engine that broke. I mean, usually the intake doesn't get wrecked. I mean, that's pretty rare. But like if you have a rod break or something, it can take out the block, the pistons, the crank, it can wreck the heads, the valves, So at that point, if you've got an engine that you just bought new, which new price can be somewhere like for a big block could be like $40,000 to $50,000. To rebuild it is way cheaper than that still, because that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Says or asks, what would it take to change the bodies on all the modifieds, and would you recommend or would you welcome that change? Yes.
Wait, what change?
What would it take to change the bodies on all the modifieds?
Oh, what would it take to change them? Sheet metal shears and a brake. No, really, just if they so for example, if you wanted less spoiler, we could just cut the spoilers off, or like short, so right now the spoiler height is 50 inches. Okay. If they made it so it was 47, you'd just take the spoiler off and there would be less downforce and we wouldn't be, you know what I mean? If we wanted the bodies narrower, the decks where they're bent on the outsides, you would cut it off and rebend it, and all the chutes you would cut them off and rebend them and make them 4 or 5 inches narrower, and then your bumpers stick out a little wider and then the next time that guy runs in the side of you, it just hits the Nerf bar and doesn't wreck the body.
But would it cost effective wise, like for manufacturers that build the bodies, I mean, to redesign the cost of that?
Yeah, I mean, it would cost them something, but I think even if they had a bunch of panels in inventory and all they had to do was cut off 4 inches and rebend them, it's not like you got to throw this stuff away.
So we're just cutting 4 inches. We're not
you're just taking material off, like your body mounts. You would take material off and just move them in. Okay. So you'd have narrower chutes and narrower deck, and then because at some point they made them all wider than they used to be, mm-hmm. and I don't think it was an improvement. Yeah. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Let's see. Do you use different carburetor builders, seeing as you like choices?
Do I use different carburetor builders? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. I have some carburetors I really like from Bill Pink. I have some from Baker. And I got some Willys. And what else? Usually I could get a really good one from a guy and a really bad one from a guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like if I get one that works, I just keep running it.
Yeah. Okay, so Andrew asked, what is the cost to race one night with a 30 to 40 lap feature? I was involved in racing many years ago, and it's about $400 for a night of racing with no wrecks or motor trouble. What did my brother say? He just assumed it was like to break even, you have to get in the top 7 or something.
Well, you need $800. He's saying you need $800 a night to break even, mm-hmm. And I think that covers almost all of your expenses overall. If you got $800 every single race, mm-hmm. for every race you run, you could cover everything. But it's got to, I think, also what he's kind of saying is like it's got to average out to that. If you get $2,000 tonight, you can get away with only getting $400 the next night.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Jason asks, that's a good one. When you travel for the Super Dirt Car Series, do you have all the spare parts in your trailer, or can you explain what you can change out if you broke or got wrecked? I like that. That's a good one. Do you carry everything with you, do you?
Try to carry everything you can, but it's another added cost to do that. So trying to have all those spares. I mean, you almost contemplate, well, I got all this stuff. Should I just put together another car? Should I have a backup car instead of putting it all into spares? Yeah, I mean, the more you race, you realize what you use the most, and things that I like with big blocks, we constantly need to check our drive lines. Like, you got to have a spare drive shaft, you got to have spare axles, you got to have drive flanges, hubs, bearings, etc. Stuff like that is stuff you have to keep on top of with those. I don't keep spare body panels in the trailer because you can just hammer them out and zip tie them on if you have to.
Yeah, they might not look pretty, but for the night being,
you can get by without that. But I know some of like the super late model teams, they keep a cart in there with spare panels to repair a car, because I think their bodies are even more exposed than the dirt modifieds. I complain about how much repair we have to do with ours, but they don't even have side rails taken out to protect them. They hit the wall and the whole rear deck just folds in, and you got to replace the spoiler and quarter panel and everything. So I wouldn't be a fan of that.
No. Okay, so we got a lot of mics going on here asking Mike questions. For the big money races at the end of the year, like Eastern States, for example, how much does the entry fees increase over regular season races?
Exponentially, but with good reason. So typically we just pay pit passes to get in. You don't pay an entry fee for the race itself. Each person pays $35 to get in, right? And then in a big race at the end of the year, might charge $50 to get in, plus to enter your car for the race, you might pay $100 fee for that, or whatever, right? So we paid $150, but we're racing for $20,000 to win. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, that if that's what they need to do so to make ends meet for the track, fine. I want more races like that and less races where they don't pay that much.
Now,
so
I understand.
I would prefer the entry fee if that's what it takes to make the purses go up.
I understand. Like, we all need to make money and whatnot, but I think it was like not once or twice, like a year or maybe 2 years ago, New Egypt actually let the drivers in for free the whole year. Like, you had to pay a license though. If you paid like the $100 some license.
Here's what I think: sponsors get in free. I don't think the drivers need to get in free at all. The drivers can pay to get in because they're going to get paid to leave. Mm-hmm. We should get in the people who sponsor and fund and make this stuff happen.
It's absolutely true.
Sponsors, car owners, free. They should be welcomed in the towers. They should be offered the best seats.
Yeah, I never thought
if you're the guy making this happen, you deserve the VIP treatment.
Yeah. That would be a whole good topic we can touch on. Mm-hmm. I like that. That's a good one. James asks, Mandee, growing up around racing like you did, do you have what it takes to be a crew chief? No. I was going to straight up say no. I think I didn't have much interest in what the car does at all until probably I got into college. And then I started dating Mike. Because my dad was more, I was helping him get sponsors and doing the marketing, the public relations side, and selling the t-shirts in the stands, and shaking hands and kissing babies. That's what I was taught, if no one's picked up on that yet. So when I started dating Mike, he's like, how do you not understand? Like, not understand, but like some things he's like, how do you not know? And I'm like, my well, even if we had just one guy helping at the races, it'd be me, my dad, someone else, and I'd beg my dad, like, can I please help? And he'd say no. Like, he's just the old-fashioned, like, I shouldn't be getting dirty at the racetrack, which I'm fine with. I mean, I turned out fine, but now it's more, I'm actually in the learning phase with you guys. So, and I'm okay with that. What do you think? You okay with that? I'm okay with that, because otherwise, there might be more expected of me. I'm still that type.
Do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. We'll just stick with that. Let's see. Ralph asks, what is the hardest track to figure out how to run well at?
The hardest track to figure out how to run well at.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Oh, man. It's those odd shaped flat tracks. Like for me if it's a nice oval or round shaped track that has some banking, they're much easier to learn on than a track that's like flat and the corners aren't round and like you enter kind of square and then it points off or something. But then it ends up that those crazy tracks that don't look right end up with the best racing because they have
don't look great.
Yeah, they like, it's just two weird corners that are different than each other, but then this guy's running the top and he gets ahead in this corner and the next corner the guy gets ahead on the bottom. It's like those end up being the tracks that race so good. Like a lot of people really struggle going to Fonda, and I sure did when I first went there. And then you start figuring it out. It's like, wow, this is one of the raciest tracks.
Yeah,
it's great. There's a lot of tracks that are like that though. Brewerton's like that.
Jordan said that you're a good teacher. I'll be okay. Depends on the day. We're not the good teacher-student relationship. Work in progress. What? I'm serious.
Okay.
Kim wants to know, Kim said, Bob wants to know if there's any talk of a start date to race yet.
Start date to race?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was told May 15th. Same as anybody else like you see on the news, they open things up May 15th, but then there's people that are skeptical of that.
You watch the news? What news?
I didn't watch the news. People told me they watched the news. They said they extended this like, no being close to each other till May 15th. So to me, that's what it is, I guess.
Well, I was talking to someone yesterday, and he had said that there's talk NASCAR-wise of trying to get something for them to start racing in May. So I'd imagine, like, if NASCAR is, we're in that mix.
Sure.
We'll just run with that. That's all he said, she said at this point. But Jordan made a good point. A lot of time, the spare parts just get used to get the car back in the trailer at the end of the night.
That is a huge reason why you bring spares. I know when. So, for instance, if we have a spare front axle and we didn't have enough to put, we weren't able to put hubs and everything on it, so it was spare ready to race. But we had an axle. You still put it in the trailer because of like, okay, you bend the axle so bad that it's falling apart and the radius rods are broke, whatever. If you had some radius rods with no heims on them, even you can like put something together to load it up at the end of the night.
I can
get it rolling.
Tell you how many times I've seen like tracks having to pull out their backhoe and trying to just figure out how to just get the car in the trailer. How is it going to fit back?
The one time that you're excited that you brought the open trailer.
Yeah. Isn't that
you can just pick it up and set it on there.
Oh my god. Yep. There was okay, so Andrew asks, Mike, can you explain what deadlocks do? Some people may not know. Is he saying beadlocks?
I'm assuming he's saying beadlocks.
My guess.
So what a beadlock does is your typical car on the street would have, you use spoons and you put the tire on and then it slides up onto the ridge of the rim and seals.
Not actual spoons.
That's how it holds air. Yeah, but like tire spoons.
Yeah.
With a bead block, you don't need the spoons. Much easier to mount the tires. and it keeps the tire from coming off the rim.
It basically holds the tire.
So on the right side, as the tire's entering the turn, the tire won't get peeled off the rim when you're sliding on a dirt track. It keeps the bead from coming off. For like drag racing and on the left rears of a dirt car, it's just so that when you're on the throttle, the tire can't spin off the rim from like the torque of the engine. And because like you'll notice like in the street stock class, a lot of people will get flats just from like sliding across a rut in a track. And if they have bead locks, that kind of stuff wouldn't happen, and then you're able to run lower air pressures without the tire coming off the rim. Now, you're gonna probably ask, okay, well, why does somebody have a bead lock on the left front? That's so if you catch like a Uke tire or the jersey barrier of the inside wall or whatever, something like that, you just nick it or something like that with a non-bead lock wheel, instant flat. But if you have a bead lock, you can sometimes just graze it and get away with it, not get a flat.
I'm thinking this weekend we should really do a tire video.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Sure.
Let's put that on our to-do list. So, John Doe asks, Craigie, would you consider being a promoter, race director, or some type of track official after your racing career?
Got this question before.
Yeah.
I would consider it, but I don't know if I have the backbone. I don't, there's so many people that are mean to them.
Yeah. I
don't like when people are mean to me.
I think I'll be the supporter sitting in the stands with a cold beverage in my hand. That I would want to do.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe as I grow older, I'd have more ability to have people mad at me.
I think the longer Mike dates me, the thicker Skinny's gonna get.
Maybe.
Yep.
Probably not.
No, you don't think so?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Jordan wants to know what's the orange stuff y'all are drinking?
Fizz sticks.
Strawberry fizz and lemonade.
Yeah, this is the bomb of combination. So Mandee makes fresh squeezed lemonade, no sugar, nothing. So this is a very healthy drink. Just squeeze the lemon in water with a fizz stick, which is all natural ingredients as well. And it provides you with energy. It makes you excited for the afternoon.
With no after crash. Good job, babe.
Arbonne
fizz sticks. That was great.
How was that ad?
That was good. Brandon asks, what type of fuel do the big bucks run, and how much do you go through on a normal weekly show?
So, for the Super Dirt Car Series, we run D12 from VP. So VP sponsors the series, and that's what we run. And then vice versa, for Short Track Super Series, you run Sunoco, 112 octane. So it's 112 octane either way, and really you don't have to rejet the carburetor or do much of anything for either fuel. It's just a sanction.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Did you talk about how much you burn?
How much do we burn? You can, I don't know, depending on the
lap race.
Yeah, depending on the size of the track, regular 30 lapper, I don't know, 10 gallons, okay. Maybe, probably less. Depends on how slick the track is. Like if it's really heavy, you might burn all 10 of those gallons. But if it's slippery, you'll probably still put 10 in, because just in case you burn that 10, but you might only burn 5 because you're not on the throttle as much.
Can you reuse the fuel that you put in that you don't burn?
Oh, of course. Yeah, you either leave it in there or you take a pump and suck it back out and start over again. Use it again.
There was a question I just remembered. Sorry I missed it, but someone had asked about getting my dad on the show. Actually, I'm going to let today be the test, because this afternoon, I think it's with Dirt Vision. They're doing, I don't personally know, I should say I don't understand entirely. I'll get the details for you. But I believe Dirt Vision does like a watch party every Saturday.
Yeah, so these are pretty cool. They put up they put up these classic shows.
They've kind of been doing like throwbacks.
Yeah, and you can get on there and watch.
So I think once I get like the full, as long as Dad does his interview well this afternoon, I'll know when it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be this Saturday or not, but they're gonna show the whole race in '94 that Dad won at Syracuse in the Zumco Sprint Car. So they're gonna do some roundtable discussion, and Dad's actually gonna be on camera. So if he can handle that, then I'll see if I can get him on this call. But he is the hardest person to actually get on a schedule. Not like if he's outside like picking up sticks and it's 12:15, he's probably gonna say, I need 10 more minutes, and he won't understand the importance of no, we have to be out at 12:15. So we're gonna find out. I can't promise you, but I'll try.
Yeah, so
We'll see.
So just so you guys know, if you like dirt racing and you like watching it, but you can't always go, or you're in this quarantine or whatever, the best thing you can do is get an account with Dirt Vision and Flow Racing, so you can watch the races.
All that, yeah.
You can watch them in your living room. You can sign in on your phone, and you can pan it up onto your smart TV and watch it on your couch.
Yep.
And it costs less than going to the races would. Everybody complains about the chart, like that they charge for it, but it's cheaper than actually going. Mm-hmm. And you can sit on your couch and watch it, and you don't have to pay for gas to get there.
Yep. And I saw if you guys have seen it or not. See, look at Bob was there in '94 for Syracuse. We watched it the other night, the raw footage that they clipped together for that race, and it's really, really good in-car footage and everything. So I'm excited. But yeah, basically, as who said it? Someone said, yeah, my dad basically has to, Garden Flame, he has to pass an audition this afternoon to find out if he's capable of being on here. And who knows if he watches this, and if he does, we'll find out.
Kim says we're going to interview the workshoe.
We do. I've thought about that, Kim.
This could be good.
But the only issue is, can he figure out how to get Zoom to go to here?
Could he figure out how to get Zoom to go to here?
Like, it's crossed my mind. It has. I'd love to have him on here.
You know what? It's not going to be his forte. I got to tell you. If it was fixing a truck, a motorcycle, or a hot rod, he could fix anything. But computers, we might have to leave it up to my sister or my brother-in-law.
If they
might be able to set that up.
Yeah. I actually thought about that this morning, because my brother and Michelle are helping my dad with this afternoon's whole video thing. So he's in the same boat.
No offense, by the way, because I wouldn't be able to figure it out either.
No. Michelle had to walk Billy through it when he was on here last week. So it's just technology. See, your mom says that they have an IT person in the family.
Yeah, so. Mike Soren, he can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What else we got for questions here?
Well, I think we're almost we're past up, but if you see anything you'd like to answer.
Ron Martin says, do you guys realize that you may go back racing with no fans in the stands? Thoughts? I don't know if we actually will or not, but I mean we're all just guessing here. But even if we did, you can still watch on Dirt Vision or Flow Racing. So there'll still be people watching, whether they sit in the stands or not. Or even if they sit in the stands 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
There's still somebody.
That's a whole, we'll find out. We're going to go racing eventually, so that's all that matters. We'll get there. But hello from England. We have someone from England. Hi, Lee. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for hopping on. It's been fun. We'll figure out how to get our fathers on here soon enough. So in due time, we'll figure it out. But
Joe Blow says he saw Billy Sr. in an interview on YouTube recently with Ray Evernham and Tony Stewart. You can check that out. Mandee was there in person while we were at Charlotte. It's pretty entertaining.
It is.
A lot of old stories and
Their
stuff.
stories are always good. Yeah.
A lot of good content on YouTube. I wonder if I could think of somebody who creates a lot of content on YouTube.
Thanks, Dave. You want to binge watch? Actually, Billy texted me the other night and said that my nephew he wanted to watch Mandee's videos. So they were watching that the other night.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, could you at least maybe let him watch himself? Like, I think he would really enjoy that when he was really young. But anyways, okay, so we're just going to continue talking.
Mandee's currently making a video right now. She's editing one. It's coming.
It's coming.
So be ready.
Yes.
This one's going to be a comedy.
I hope it's going to be funny.
We
think it's funny, so hopefully you think it's funny.
I hope you laugh at us.
I really do. Yes. So in other news, thank you guys. Oh, Jordan's ready to be on this show. I think, Jordan, you can handle this. I think you're tech savvy enough. You know how to comment. You should be able to figure this out. But anyways,
get up, Jordan. That'd be great. Mm-hmm. Jordan's awesome.
Yes. So lunchtime. Love you guys. It's been fun, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time. It's a date.
See ya.
See ya.